Recently there has been talk on a few gaming forums about the potential future of the Mortal Kombat franchise. And the reason I say that is because it's one that Warner Brothers games have been publishing for like most of the teens decade, and we got some of the best Mortal Kombat games within the entire series, like during that time period, like Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and 11. Mortal Kombat 1 was, I guess, okay, but at the same time, it did not necessarily live up to the hype that the other games did prior to its release. And obviously, that game didn't make the kind of money that the other games did. And I think Mortal Kombat 1, it's only been out for like a year now, and it's still like hovering around the 3 million mark in terms of overall sales because I haven't heard any updates about it selling more or it breaking 4 mil, 5 mil, 6 mil, or anything like that. And obviously, Warner Brothers Discovery lost a ton of money on games either flopping or not selling nearly as much as they should. And it's to a point where Warner Brothers is thinking about just going out of the gaming business altogether. And that being said, a lot of people wonder whether or not I guess Sony or even Xbox should buy the Mortal Kombat IP for games and all that stuff. Now, when you think of Mortal Kombat, you think more of gaming than you do animation or movies or anything like that, even though we have gotten like, movies and I guess some animes and all that. But the games stand out way more than anything else. And and I do feel that, with Xbox, um, I feel like with Xbox, Mortal Kombat could definitely get overshadowed, especially considering all the franchise Microsoft owns. Um, like Xbox owns like multiple franchises that are really popular. I'm talking about Diablo, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch. All those franchises are very popular, and I do feel like Mortal Kombat could end up taking a back seat to those if Xbox do indeed like purchase the IP from Warner Brothers Games. Um, I don't think there's necessarily any rumors about it happening or anything like that, but there have been like talks on certain sites about this possibly being a thing. Like I'm talking about like Fandom Wire and IMDb. I've read discussions about I guess, Xbox not being able to really handle the IPs that they have for the most part. And that there is some truth to that because you look at the last Call of Duty game that came out, Modern Warfare 3 this past year, that game was critically panned by a lot of people. And and I think Activision had to make some cuts because of how badly that game did. And and yeah, like you got franchises like World of Warcraft that obviously it's been around for like 20 years, and we're still getting DLC for that and expansion packs. Diablo 4, when it first came out last year, I think it made at least $666 million. So obviously, it's something that's really profitable. But at the same time, I don't hear too many people talking about Diablo 4 nowadays as they were in 2023. So, so yeah, I mean, I really have no idea what the future is going to hold for Mortal Kombat. I don't even know if we're going to get a sequel for Mortal Kombat 1 at this rate because like this game literally just came out, and it's highly doubtful that we're going to get another game from Rocksteady Studios um in the future, especially considering the fact that Warner Brothers Games was the publisher for Mortal Kombat 1. And and honestly, it'd be a damn shame for the Mortal Kombat franchise to kind of just end the way or just end like this for the most part because, you know, like it's true that Mortal Kombat 1 could have been better. I do feel like MK1 was way too wholesome in comparison to the other ones. It felt a little I don't know, it felt strange. It felt kind of campy compared to the other ones. I mean, the language and the explicitity was not quite there. And I guess there's just something with other people that just didn't necessarily click. And for the most part, it's kind of just meh. And I feel like it also came out in a year like 2023 where you had so many other games that kind of just overshadowed it for the most part. So it didn't make as much of a splash as Rocksteady Studios or Warner Brothers had hoped that it would. It didn't make the kind of profit that a lot of executives in Warner Brothers thought it would make, or a lot of executives in general thought it would make. And because of that, um, a lot of people are questioning whether or not the Mortal Kombat series is just like it doesn't have much of a future, like like from now, because like Mortal Kombat 1, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still like popular in this day and age, mainly because we're getting like DLC characters like, Ghostface and Peacemaker and all those other names that are popular within like I guess within like the entertainment industry and all that. But I do feel that like for the most part, like either Xbox or Sony needs to like buy Mortal Kombat for the most part, or if Warner Brothers is considering selling off their IPs and stuff like that, then it should be like one of those two entities that should get it. But at the same time, Warner Brothers has showed interest in possibly licensing IPs and using them for future projects and stuff like that. So I'm not exactly sure if that's something that they would jump the gun on, especially considering the fact that there's still money to be made off the Mortal Kombat franchise for the most part, and I do feel that, since, Mortal Kombat's been affiliated with Warner Brothers Games for a long period of time, seeing it with, any other, company or being owned by any other entity, I don't know, it doesn't necessarily feel right for the most part. But yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens with the Mortal Kombat franchise, with the IP, who ends up owning it, and whether or not we're going to see anything big out of the Mortal Kombat series anytime in the future.